Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Show Match Showdown here between Cybernetics Television and GameReplays.org. Now, this is going to be a series of tournament games that we're going to be playing over 5 different games. The teams have all been set up and the matches are all ready to go. And today, this will be the Heroes of Newerth game number 1 of the best of 3 series between both XTV and GameReplays.org. Joining me on the microphone will be SK Gaming Pro and Legend Cardinal. How are you doing, sir?
Doing good. Thanks for having me again. It's always fun.
It's always good to have someone that knows what they're talking about to kind of balance out all the excessive talking I'm about to do. So it's always a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so the rules here are basic tournament rules. There is going to be 2 crowd control items per team. And you cannot do any kind of creep blocking, there's no backdooring, but there's also no hero bans on the floor. It's just going to be whatever we have banned here, there's no auto bans going down. And speaking of bans, we are about done. Yeah, we are done the bans. So, Cardinal, would you like to go through them for us, sir?
Yeah, it looks like we got Pharaoh, Madman, Kraken, Slither, Swiftblade, Dr. Repulsor, Devourer, Hellbringer. They're all pretty standard bans. The one thing that we don't really see much is the Kraken ban, but it's kind of interesting to see what people ban now that we just had the recent patch and there was a ton of changes with all the heroes. So it'll be interesting to see how the picks go and what kind of strategies we see.
Yes, the big realignment patch just came out. Almost it seems specifically just for us. I mean, you gotta balance out these 2 teams, so to speak. But yeah, we did have quite a few changes down. So I'm a little curious as to the Kraken myself. I'm just going through all the various statistics here for every player, but I don't really see Kraken up there in any of them. So might be a situational ban. Maybe they know something we don't. But oh, in fact, this guy doesn't have any favorites. That's really weird. But yeah, we do have all the bans down, and as you said, pretty standard stuff. A lot of the big name heroes are out of the running. A lot of carry types, I noticed, have been taken out of the equation.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more support heroes in the pool that are pickable now, especially with the Demented buff. So I don't know, maybe that was their strategy, just get rid of all the hard carries so they just leave a couple of them left. I'm not sure.
Well, while we wait for these guys to solidify their team, let's just go over the roster here. It's going to be the same rosters, I believe, for both games. So, team captain here of Cybernetics Television on the Legion side is going to be Insane Rabbi, and his trusty co-captain there, Aviserus, with Sturgier? I'm going to call him Sturge. We got Teddy and Non-Vidius as well. For Team Game Replays, it's kind of an amalgamation of the clans, but we have Hot and Sour here taking the team captain role there, most likely due to his PSR, although I do see Ku FA5 there. He actually has a higher than that, so I'm a little curious how that worked. But we also have Zapko playing with 2 GR regulars of ISIT down 2P. And Bartlett, and Bart is a longtime member of the Game Replay staff, does many games, actually plays for a few professional teams around the place, so he's a big name there. And yeah, going head to head, it's just standard rules. As you said, no backdooring, 2 crowd control items, and just destroy the other guy's base. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, looks like it's pretty even team-wise, so I expect some pretty good games for this best of series.
Well, we are hopeful at that. Now, the Cybernetics Television crew, they've been around for a while, and Game Replays have been around since, like Command & Conquer 3, Command & Conquer Generals, which spans like, I'd say at least 6 years now. They've been around the block for sure. And, both sites do competitive tournament coverage, and they do competitive writings as well as, just general forums for the masses. And, tournaments like this, show matches like this, they're always good for coverage, for the community. These guys really take a long time to choose their heroes, don't they?
Yeah, they definitely take their whole lot of time. I'm not familiar with either of the, well, obviously with Game Replays, but why don't you say the websites, because I'm sure other people aren't familiar with. I'm sure they are with you with the other website that they have.
Well, Game Replays you can find at GameReplays.org, and you can find the HoN specific section at HoNReplays.org, and we just specialize in videos. We run tournaments sanctioned by S2. We have an amateur division, a mentor program, and just lots and lots of replays. It's a very massive hub, and a lot of events do get hosted through us. It's quite the juggernaut these days. For Cybernetics Television, Insane Rabbi was actually Game Replay staff, and he went off to the pro scene for a little bit, come back, and now he wants to kind of do the same thing. You can find them at Cybernetics with an X .TV, and they're actually in the process of redoing the website right now. So if you do go there and find it's a little out of date, don't worry, there is stuff coming down the line. And down the line, I do see we finally have some heroes. We're out of timer as well. We do have the 0-0 now set up. So who do we got here, Mr. Cardinal?
Looks like so far on Legion we have Andromeda, Witchslayer, Tempest, and Gladiator, which are definitely some interesting first picks. And on the Hellborn side, Flint, Beastwood, Behemoth, and Bubbles, which are pretty standard picks. So we'll see what they end up with.
Now, a Tempest kind of indicates a jungling strategy from the Legion side.
Yeah, they I expect to see a lot more, especially with the Legionnaire buff. I hope to see a lot more strategies other than the standard tri-lanes, 2 solos.
I think it was the Cyber Gamer tournament just a few weeks ago. They featured a Legionnaire in their finals, and he did work, I will tell you that. Clearing triple stacked camps and just dominating a tri-lane. And now with, as you said, the new changes to his spin as well as the jungle, I mean, we might be seeing a lot more jungle strats coming out, which also might mean we might see the eventual decline of tri-laning as well, because you're taking that extra hero and just going after the jungle.
God, I hope so. I really enjoy tri-lanes when it's set up tri-lane versus tri-lane, but when you have a solo versus the tri-lane and obviously the opposite on the other side, it's a really boring game. It just isn't fun at all for anyone.
Now, spectators least wise, let alone the players. So the teams are now definitely set up, and the last pick there on the Legion was that Thunderbringer. So just taking a quick guess at the lanes here, Thunderbringer likely going to be going mid so we can get that big level advantage. Tempest is going to run off to the jungle, and that's going to leave us with a Gladiator, Witchslayer, Andromeda tri-lane, and that's a good amount of disable between those 3 heroes.
Yeah, I don't know. You think they might set it up with a dual lane and 2 solos with Tempest jungle, or they might just send Tempest in the solo side lane. I'd like to see him jungle and see what else they set up, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
Well, while we wait and see, we do have all the players loading up on the Hellborn. We do have Flint Beastwood with the Behemoth, a Corrupted Disciple. He's really come back into the scene. We haven't really seen a lot of them in the recent months of tournaments, and we do have that Bubbles and Mimrodon. So Mimrodon, oh, we did lose Bart there, timed out. We are going to put throwing down the competitive pause as per normal. But a Mimrodon, he's a big support hero these days. Ever since he came out, he's jumped right into the competitive scene.
Yeah, it's he competes with, in my opinion, with Witchslayer, and now Demented with probably the best support hero in the game, just because he has so much versatility. He has two stuns if you land him right, and he has basically a blink. So it's definitely a really good support hero to have on your team.
Well, as we wait for Bartlett to get back, we're just going to do a big shout out here. CybernetixTV Show Match, game number 1. Good luck, have fun. There we go. So, we do have, as we said, Mimrodon, big support hero ever since he came out. He's an original hero, not a Dota port at all. He's straight out of the Dream program, or at least inspired by the Dream program that S2 has running here. Just for the last prediction, I do think we will be seeing a Flint Beastwood in the side lane with at least the Behemoth, if not as well the Mimrodon. That puts Bubbles into the nice long lane, because he's a very exceptionally high survivability hero. Likely we're going to be seeing that Corrupted Disciple throwing mid. Anything wrong with that?
No, if I were running Hellborn, I would send the tri-lane bottom. That way your 2 support heroes in the tri-lane can roam mid occasionally if you're set up against a solo at bottom. But they might have something else planned.
Well, we are going to have to wait, so we will find out sooner rather than later. Now, what kind of predictions do we think seeing here? If they do go head-to-head in the lanes that we've set up, that's going to put Corrupted Disciple versus Thunderbringer mid. Now, I know Thunderbringer is a great solo here, especially when he can keep a solo lane to himself for all that experience. But a Corrupted Disciple, as I said, he's come back right into this lane. He might be able to shut him down. But well, how do you think that's going to end up, Cardinal?
I think it's all based off positioning. If Thunderbringer gets pushed to Corrupted's tower, Corrupted can walk up to him and use his conduit and suck down all his damage and walk up with him until he gets 8 to 10 charges and start auto attacking him and then nuke him and see if he can get a kill that way. Otherwise, I don't really see Thunderbringer dying to him. But it'd probably be pretty even CS wise. They both have nukes and pretty good attack animations. They'll be able to creep equally.
Yeah, the last hits is definitely an important aspect of the laning phase. So the creeping will basically determine who's going to be winning that. Now, we do got the big Rings of Death versus the Chain Lightning, so very interested to see how all this is going to go out. Now, Flint Beastwood as a carry, he definitely needs a lot of babysitting in the beginning, and he has to really keep a lot of the pressure off him, and that's where the support comes in. Myrmidon with a Weed Field followed up by a Behemoth Fisher. That could definitely lead to a lot of damage.
Yeah, that tri-lane is very strong. It has a lot of range, even though Myrmidon and Behemoth aren't like long-range heroes, but their spells have such long range that you can basically catch anyone or initiate on anyone at any time.
Oh, gotta love game ones. I do believe Bartlett has now rejoined the game. XTV has said that they're ready to go, and Bart times out yet again. Fun times. This is without a land function here in Heroes of Newerth. This is the only way to play, and that is basically online and not. It doesn't always work as it should, as we see here with Bart. But yeah, so we've talked a little bit now about the Hellborn team. Let's just take a quick look over here to the Legion. Now, Gladiator's going to be the hero to keep your eye on for the tri-lane, if they do run a tri-lane on this side. And if they can't, well, if they do run the tri-lane, that means Tempest will be laning as well, which means he will not be jungling. So maybe they're going to split that up. But Gladiator is definitely a hero that's been popularized by the pro team Fnatic MSI, especially Trixie. He's really well known for those Gladiator crits, going for a crit build with the invisibility. I think we might see something similar here from Non-Vidius, or is there some kind of new trend right now with the Gladiator that I'm unaware of?
No, it's still, the Helm of the Black Legion, I don't know, the Hunter, and Lothar's, and then crit.
So the Cloak of Assassination to the Rift
there you go.
Yep.
But he's gonna have to do something because they have basically only Gladiator to carry, and the Hellborn side has two supports that have a lot of AoE stun. So he's gonna have to pull something out of his back pocket or something.
Do gladiators have pockets, I wonder? But, yeah.
Gladiator.
Yeah, that crit whip of his can definitely do work. It's one of the only skills in the game with true damage as its factor. It's not mitigated by physical armor. It's not mitigated by magical armor. It is indeed true damage, and a crit true damage, especially with the Cloak of Assassination, which gives bonus damage after you come out of the invisibility. It's almost like tailored exactly to him. Now, Gladiator, he's based upon the popular Dota port of Congor, which was the Pirate Admiral, I do believe.
Yep, you got it.
And he combos very well with the Andromeda hero, who was the Spectral... What's the Dota equivalent? Spectral...
To who?
Andromeda.
Oh, Vengeful Spirit?
Okay, not Spectral, anything. Vengeful Spirit. Yeah, but putting those combos together, landing out the Comet, and then throwing down the Pitfall, it definitely can do a lot of work, especially if you can aim that Chariot. That's the hardest part about a Gladiator, aiming that Chariot. I know I'm terrible at it myself, but of course I didn't popularize the hero.
Yeah, what people I've seen a bunch of different builds, but what I think they should do to help you hit the chariot is use your showdown on a hero and then time your showdown with your I guess it's called Call of the Arms, and time those two together so the hero gets pushed back by the showdown and then gets hit by the ultimate, and that's what usually people use to hit it, and it works pretty well.
I do see some chat coming up from the two teams. We might be ready to go. Indeed, we have now unpaused the game. So if you're still with us, thank you for your patience. And now, look at that. People are moving, and the water is trickling, and the wind is blowing. Yeah, so we do have the game finally going. We do have people now running off to their lanes. We do have a flying courier from the Legion side going out and about to do some scouting, likely going to be going to the top Hellborn jungle area to see if there's anyone lining up for a rune gank. And that's kind of a strategy we saw come out. It's not exactly new, but it wasn't exactly around during retail. It got popularized over the last few months. Does SK use their courier for scouting on the first few minutes of the match?
Yeah, we have used it. It's kind of hard though because the crow doesn't really give much vision at all. But yeah, it's one of those things where you scout to either look for a gank or scout to see what hero is going to a specific lane, so you can set up your lanes accordingly.
Well, I'm not sure it's actually going to find anything up in here, except maybe a turtle. Bubbles does look like he has gone up to the top lane, and so has Tempest. So I'm not too sure we're going to be actually seeing any kind of jungling action out of a Tempest. So a laning Tempest is going to be on the market there. We do have Thunderbringer as kind of expected going to the mid, and we do have the Flint Beastwood actually lining up for the mid. That's a little new. How do you think a Flint versus a Thunderbringer will add up?
Well, Thunderbringer has the advantage because of that spam ability, but if played right, Flint Beastwood can beat him. It's a pretty good matchup. It's actually pretty fun. It's a lot of action, hopefully.
Well, action is going to be the name of the game, hopefully. But so we do have them now in the mid, but look at this, the two supports that were supposed to be going down south, Zapko and Bart, they are actually in and behind the Thunderbringer. Thunderbringer's really over that river. He's right up to the tower, and look at that. Now he's going to see, two heroes. The Weedfield unfortunately missing because of the Behemoth Fisher, and he's actually going to get out of that. Oh. And oh, look at that. The Bloodlust down south. Corrupted Disciple getting destroyed by the tri-lane. So not only did we have the fail gank mid, we did have Insane Rabbi go down at the bottom because his supports were just not there. Not exactly the best start here for the XTV crew. Sorry, for the GR crew. My mistake.
That they definitely could have gotten Thunderbringer if Flint Beastwood had just skilled his explosive flare. He didn't even get his flare level 1, so he couldn't even really help but auto attack. So I think that's probably what contributed to missing that kill mid.
Now, I might have actually missaid that. I did say Rabbi did go down. Sorry, it was Rabbi that got the kill, and it was Ice It Down to P that went down. So I do apologize for that discrepancy. But the tri-lanes have now gone head-to-head. We do have a blocking ward down here at the creep camp, so we will be limiting experience from that factor. We do have wards of sight here in the bottom lane for offensive sight so that the Legion can try to set up a gank. And up top is just business as usual for Bubbles and the Tempest. So one kill already to Insane Rabbi, picking that up as Andromeda, and he got himself an early boots. This could actually lead to a lot more very quick kills, like the one right now. Down goes the Comet. Here's the Pitfall, the combo from though that we were talking about, and that's going to be another kill going down on Mimrodon that time. We do have Witch Slayer coming in, but I'm not too sure it's going to be enough to actually grab this Corrupted Disciple. We did have someone else go down. Did you catch who?
Yeah, Flint Beastwood killed Thunderbringer mid. Barely. He's 40 life right now.
40 life. Did he have help from that Behemoth?
No, he did it solo.
did it solo. So Behemoth was just doing a rune check right there. We do have Teddy kind of stuck in the forest with an invisible Behemoth, and he's just going to go right down onto Corrupted Disciple, who's going to get not weed fielded, but he is going to get commented, but out goes his Ring of Death before he goes down, and now Gladiator in a lot of trouble as he's going to go down as well. The Graveyard not going to be coming out in time for that. Out goes the weed field, landing on top of the Witch Slayer. He's going to have to run back. Magikarp wisely standing still, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to clean that up as well. So off the bat, we're 3 minutes into this game, Cardinal, and we already have 6 kills on the board.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what you get when you get tri-lane versus tri-lane. This is what we love.
It's what we've come to love and adore. So it does look like Hot and Sour here in the mid. Flint Beastwood doing good stuff here to the Thunderbringer, as we do see Zapco going down again. The Behemoth, sorry, that's his first death. He has 2 assists, first death. And right now, Team GR is kind of being forced back up to this bottom lane tower. So the tri-lane down south for XTV definitely winning a lot of these fights.
Yeah, they have a really nice setup. They obviously have to lead with Andromeda, but for the Hellborn side to win, they need to have the Behemoth counter get stunned when they set that stuff up, or else they're going to get a kill every time with it, because they have follow up with Witch Slayer too.
Yeah, the Comet to the Pitfall to the Graveyard, now probably to the miniaturization. Where is Witch Slayer? Teddy, he does have, just taking a quick look at a skill build, 1 in the miniaturization, 2 in the Graveyard. He's manning up right now using good use of the Courier. So, I mean, the Courier in Heroes and Earth, great service, because you can just get your items from town without having to leave lane. So, always a fun thing to see players use that. In the mid, Thunderbringer going down yet again to Flint Beastwood, who is level 6, just used that money shot. So, Aviserus not doing so hot there. We do have Gladiator taking another kill here at the Corrupted Disciple. Andromeda is trying to get away through the forest, but right now, he looks like he'll be okay popping that potion. We do have the mana potion here on Teddy coming back up. We want to get off that stun onto the Behemoth. The Pitfall is clearly going to miss, but it is going to hit that Mimrodon. Great use there. Andromeda picking that up, and Behemoth actually going to be taking down Witch Slayer, but right now he is behind enemy lines. Andromeda coming with her boots, because Behemoth actually does not have any, so not exactly too sure where Andromeda's going, but he is going to be picking up this kill on Behemoth or not, getting stuck in the forest. Not too sure what he wants. There we go. The Aurora coming out, just enough mana to grab that, and coming back to town will be Witch Slayer using that Homecoming Stone. So this bottom lane is where it's at, Cardinal.
Man, this is awesome. I love watching this. This is action-packed. That beginning of that fight, Behemoth did what he was supposed to do. He counter-stunned, actually blocked a couple people off, but they just have so much disable and burst that they killed, I think it was Corrupted right away, and then it was just everyone running around, and Behemoth kind of expected that he was going to die, and just wasting time there. But yeah, it was awesome.
The score is now 7-5. We're 6 minutes and 12 seconds into this game, and let's just take a quick look at the differentials. Experience is still mostly in the favor of Legion, but it's by such a negligible amount at this point. 400, 300. We do have a stun actually going down on Aviserus in the mid. Double damage. Flint doing quite a big hit there to Aviserus' health. Right now he's dealing 125 damage with that double damage rune, and that is very, very bad for your health to get hit by that at this point of the game. I mean, right now we do have Thunderbringer level 6 at 700 hit points. At 700 hit points, that's 7 auto attacks.
Yeah, especially with Hollow Point Shell, that'd probably be more like 5.
Well, if they can proc, it is of course that chance-based formula. We haven't really paid a lot of attention to the top lane, but right now we do have Bubbles kind of free farm in a way there, as Tempest did seem to have to go back to town. What do we got for the creep scores up in the top, sir?
Looks like Bubbles is level 7. He has 32 and 12, and Tempest is level 6 at 26 and 11. So Bubbles has a little bit of advantage right now, but they haven't killed each other, so. I think it's been pretty even.
Just going back and forth. We do have the mini stun going down on Flint Beastwood. It's not going to be enough to save Rabbi as he goes down to the money shot. We did have a lot of bursts coming out of Eviscerus there trying to take out Flint, but unfortunately it's just going to get him killed as HoN Sour using that big range advantage to his, which is level 2 Deadeye right now. So he's increased his range by 120, which means he's shooting at 720 range right now. So he picks up 2 kills there. This mid lane could be going better for CybernetixTV. They're getting hammered pretty hard there.
Yeah, the only hope, I mean, I think they got outpicked to begin with because they only have 1 carry, but the only hope right now is Gladiator, which he is 4-1, so it's, they still have plenty, they're still in this game. It's just Thunderbringer is having a rough time.
A rough time indeed. So, the surprise pick of Flint Beastwood in the mid, and it's working very well right now for Team GR. He's up to 4 kills. HoN Sour, 4 kills. I have no idea if he's a smurf or not, but he is playing exceptionally well for his lane. He's up to 472 experience a minute, top of the game. Right now, Behemoth got caught with that Ward of Revelation from Insane Rabbis, so that invis only works if they can't see you, Mr. Zapko, and they did in fact see you. So he goes down pretty quick from all the focus of 3 heroes.
Yeah, it was. I didn't see if Witchslayer put it down after he saw him pick up the invis, or it was just there and it was just luck. But either way, it was a good kill. They probably could have turned it around if they didn't have that.
Well, he was very separated from his teammates there, so as soon as that ward went down, his fate was sealed. Just taking a quick roll call of the levels right now. Level 8 on Flint Beastwood as he's just racking up these kills and experience like a boss. We do have level 8 on the Bubbles, and down south the tri-lane is only sitting at 5, 4, and Behemoth is... What level is Behemoth? 4 as well. Now we do have a big push going on down south. The Tempest coming out with his Elementals. Going to get that tower, but we do have a little bit of resistance coming in. Bubbles has come in with his ultimate. Out goes the Pitfall. It's going to take him down, but as well, Tempest is going to be biting the dust. We do have Gladiator. Has to stop for that Magikarp, and that's just going to be enough, I think, to grab him. We got Dares the Rings from the Corrupted Disciple. I was going to say the cooldown had to be up. The Weedfield catching Insane Rabbi as well, and just not good at all. Look at this. Flint Beastwood coming in from the middle. Going to be taking down this Witchslayer with that money shot. Just eating these tower charges. No worries, and a great block coming out of the Behemoth. They're going to be stopping Thunderbringer in his tracks, and I think finally that is going to be that. But we do have Thunderbringer. He's up here. He wants to chase down this Flint. Might not be in his best interest, however. And Flint, he definitely knows what's going on. Level 9 throws out that flare. Going to find the Thunderbringer. In comes the Behemoth, but he doesn't have the mana for the Fisher. So he's just really providing sight at this point for the Flint Beastwood. We do have the money shot going down. It does get interrupted. Andromeda's still here, but we do have Corrupted Disciple. He just throws down his ultimate, wants to chase down this Thunderbringer, but I do think it's going to end up really bad for him as there we go. The Chariot Spikes themselves going to be grabbing him, so whatever advantage Team GR just got out of that fight is now completely null and void.
Wow, that was a great counter ganks. If Behemoth had only had mana, that would have never happened. I think they overextended too much and got greedy, but that was good support from XTV.
That was amazing play from both teams. I mean, the homecoming stones right to the defense tower just really turns everything around, as if you can coordinate that really effectively. Now, it does look like business as usual as everyone has gone back to their different lanes. Myrmidon, though, like at the beginning of that fight at that tower, he was level 4. Now he's level 7.
Yeah, and Behemoth is still level 4, so that kind of sucks for him. But Myrmidon did a couple really good weed fields there. They set up a couple kills.
Yeah, which is a big advantage there of the Myrmidon. We do have right now Gladiator being chased by cumulative 3 heroes, as we do have Myrmidon coming now into the mid. Up at the rune, however, we do have Behemoth. He's going to get chased off. Eviscerus does have that invis. It's not going to be enough to save Mr. Rabbi as he goes down. Gladiator is getting caught a little bit here, but we need to see some damage coming out from Eviscerus, but right now he is on the right side of that Fissure, but the money shot going down on top of Gladiator. I still don't know what Eviscerus is waiting for, but maybe he knows something I don't, as there's now 4 Hellborn heroes. 4 or 5? Are all 5? No, we have Myrmidon dead. It's like, how many heroes do we have? But we do have entire team GR now ready to go, and XTV is wisely kind of hiding, backing off. How much longer do we have on this invis? We got 17 seconds left, so they still don't know where Thunderbringer is. They have to suspect he's around here somewhere. He's not showing his face, so let's see what happens here. What do you think is going to happen here, Cardinal?
Well, I would expect, it all depends on position. Tempest does have his ultimate up, but if Behemoth stays back enough, he's going to be able to stun him out of it. But looks like initiating going on here.
Yeah, we do have Bubbles. Try to use the Shell Surf to get away, but the repeated stun from the Tempest, that's called the Glacial Blast, so it's actually stopped him from getting away. Now, that might have actually been a little bit of a glitch, because he threw out the shell, and it looked like he got away, but he actually stayed in place. So a little bit of overextension on his point, and he goes down. This is still 15-13 in advantage here of XTV, but the experience lead is actually in GR's favor at this point.
Yeah, Gladiator has 5 kills, but also has 3 deaths, and he's the highest level in the game, along with Flint Beastwood and Bubbles. So he's staying up afloat there, but they're really relying on this Tempest ultimate in team fights later on. So he's gonna have to get a really good portal key with ultimate, or go straight Shrunken Head.
Now, on that note, for items, we do have 1,800 gold saved up here on the Tempest. It looks like he's going to set up here to do a deny on the tower. I hope. Okay, there we go. There's the deny on the tower. It would have been a little silly to let that go to waste. But right now, Tempest, in and about the 1,900 gold range, he should be picking up that portal key within the next few minutes.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably what he's saving up for, but I don't know if portal key would be the best here, because they have so much long-range disables that can stop his ultimate regardless.
Well, yeah, we are going to have to combo that with a Shrunken Head down the line. In fact, look at up top, all the damage going down on Flint Beastwood. We had so many stones come up to the top, and just the Andromeda swap allows that kill to actually happen. So to counter that, we do have a lot of XTV up top. Right now, GameReplays, they should be trying to push down south, and we do have 2 heroes just auto-attacking away at the creeps, that Bubbles and the Corrupt Disciple, both who are level 9 right now, but level 10 on Nonvidius, level 10 on HoN Sour, so they are still leading the pack in terms of experience a minute, but we don't really see those big numbers anymore. Everything's kind of coming up and catching up, because we don't even have 400 experience a minute on the board anymore. We do have initiation going down on Bubbles, however. The combo, oh, the Chariot going to be grabbing him. That looks like perfect timing, but the combo of this Comet to the Pitfall, classic Dota moves right here, coming out on the Corrupted Disciple. Bubbles already down, but Andromeda is now actually behind as he gets separated from the Gladiator. Gladiator goes down. He actually loses his helmet when he dies. That's kind of cool. We do have them in hot pursuit. Andromeda is likely going to get out of that because he does have Striders, but down up top, we did have Witch Slayer go down. Hot and Sour picking that up as the defense of this top tower. Kind of paramount. This tower is actually within deny range. I just saw Zapko hit it. Maybe they're not going to actually deny it right now. What's your stance on that? Towers with over 100 hit points, but deniable. Would you do it or would you not?
Generally, you would, but in this early of a game, it's especially that tower, it's questionable whether you want to or not, because your teammates can still TP, and they probably want to leave Flynn up there farming a little bit, so they want to be able to teleport to him and assist him if he gets ganked.
That's actually a really good point, because that tower is a great spot for the Homecoming Stones to latch onto. It can definitely bring reinforcements a lot quicker than, for example, this farther back tower. So no, that is a good point. I'd never actually even thought of that.
Yeah, you know, that's why they pay me the big bucks.
Oh, I see. Now that's why I bring you onto the show, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so many things to think about this game. It's such in-depth strategy. Like so many heroes, so many tactics, how teams want to behave, what they want to be doing for their meta. It's always glad to see that someone can think alternatively as opposed to just the norm.
One thing I like to see from Behemoth is he's doing a lot of roaming and he has a lot of assists, so he's getting some gold from that. But I think he just really needs a chalice. He needs more some type of mana regen, either a chalice or bringing a teacher to help him gank.
Well, here's exactly what you were talking about earlier. Leaving that tower up involves 2 homecoming stones, and they're just going right down on Gladiator. Look at the shell surf to the Fisher, and then Hot and Sour picking that up with his money shot. And that puts him at 8-2 right now. So not this Hot and Sour fellow. He is doing quite well for himself. We're now actually 18 minutes into the game. The gold advantage is pretty much even between the two teams. It's about 300 off. The experience lead, however, still kind of climbing here in GameReplays' favor. And we do have them all up here in the top. I'm not too sure they're going to actually solidify for a push. What do you think?
They're probably going to set up a gank with Andro swap, but there's a lot of Bubbles can just counter initiate, so we'll see.
Well, they did find Myrmidon here, and he's going to go down, but look at the damage going down on the Tempest. Tempest actually out of gold, so he must have picked up that portal key already. And again, Viscerus is in here. He's invis. He doesn't really want to seem to do anything. He's providing scouting cover right now, or scouting information for his team, so maybe land a few of those skill shots. I'm not sure they know about this Behemoth over in the corner. He does have double damage, and we did just have Corrupted Disciple come up top as well. And now Viscerus, I mean, if you're going to be invis, you got to go scouting, and if he finds this Behemoth off to the side, it might be able to be enough to combo a kill. It does look like the Legion have actually retreated, though.
Yeah, they have, like I said before, Hellborn has just so much long-range disables that it's really hard for Legion to set up a gank or anything without Tempest. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, they can set up single target kills with Andromeda like they had before in Flint, but with that tower up there, oh, looks like they just denied it. They are able to counter gank it and support him before he dies.
We do have pings going down here at the Hellborn jungle, and taking a quick look at that, they do seem to be triple stacked. So that likely we're going to have someone come down here and clean these up. Stacking the jungle, obviously a great way for support to spend their time, because, I mean, if you're not in the lane and you're not getting experience, you better be doing something worthwhile. Up top, however, we do have Corrupted Disciple being found by the Tempest, throws down the Glacial Blasts to the Meteor, but the Silver Bullet doing close to no damage on top of him right there, and he's going to get that. All right, now I did want to go over this about 2 minutes ago, but we're 20 minutes in. What kind of items are we now seeing emerging from these two teams?
Well, there's been so much action in gank that you kind of see the standard roam items right now. A lot of chalices, a lot of teleports, obviously. No real big item. Let me see. I'm trying to look and see. I mean, Gladiator has his Helm in the Black Legion, which you'd expect, and he's probably going to get his Shroud soon with those triple stacks if he clears them. And then Hellborn, I just see Bubbles just picked up his Blessed Orb, which is 2100, so he's probably had a good chunk of gold. But Behemoth right now is 1600 gold, so he's pretty close to his portal key, and that's going to be a huge factor upcoming.
Speaking of portal keys, there is one sitting on top of Sturge there from XTV on that Tempest, so we might be seeing some good Tempest ults coming down the line. Now you've really got to capture a lot of them into that ult, otherwise, as you have noted, there are a lot of long-range disables, and that's just going to put him out of the running. So to counter that, likely he might go for that Shrunken Head, but it's still a long way off at this point. Corrupted Disciple has himself a Shaman's Headdress, which is why the Silver Bullet didn't actually do really any damage to him when the Witch Slayer slammed him with it a little earlier. Now the big person that we're obviously going to be looking out for here is going to be Hot and Sour, but right now he really just has kind of the beginning stuff with a chalice in the bottle. So
he has 4k gold though.
Yeah, I was going to say he has to be saving up for something, and I'm really hoping it's not going to be a Doombringer. Although that would be awesome.
Looks like there's some action coming up top here. Corruptus and I both might be going down here.
By might, we mean yes. Yes, he's going to be going down 4 heroes with that swap. You're not going to be getting away from that. If Andromeda wants you dead, there's very, very little that can actually get in her way, especially with 3 heroes to back her up on that. But there is a dead tower up top, so they are going to be cycling down most likely to this mid tower, because it is the last farthest tower out here for the Hellborn team, and it's always a kind of a symbol in these games. Like the mid lane is kind of that cherished lane, and right now the Hellborn do have their tower up, but the mid tower for Legion gone. We do have 4 heroes down south, or sorry, 3 heroes down south, and they look like they're putting the hurt on this guy. But we do have the cycling down from the mid. They are going to be finding these heroes out here. The tower's actually still up. There's the Tempest ultimate, catching Behemoth and Mimrodon inside that tower range, and just damage going down. Bubbles, no, he's going to get miniaturized. He's not going to be getting out of that, so the take cover to the shell serve didn't quite work, and that's a quick 3 kills here for Team XTV.
There you go. That's what they need to do. Set up a Tempest ult, pick a couple of people off, and win the team fight. But Flint Beastwood's still farming his 4,400 gold. I would expect to get him to get a Geos.
Oh, it looks like with some vision from that ward that we put up there from XTV. It allows us to find the Flint right there, but the money shot is actually going to be taking down that Tempest before we can clean up Beastwood. Now, Beastwood losing a little bit of gold, but he still has a good chunk to his name. Really not sure what he wants to go here. Like, maybe he just hates putting out parts of items, just wants to grab something very expensive all at once. Still not too sure what it is. I mean, what are the typical Flint carries these days?
I mean, I like to build my Flint differently than what most people get. If I were in this game, I would probably go for a Nullstone, Geos, and a Desolator. What is it called in HoN? Shieldbreaker. Mm-hmm. But most people go the standard Frostful Skull, Geos, and Crit.
Yep.
But, he could probably do whatever he wants.
Well, the idea is trying to predict what he does want, and at this point, all we have to go off of is a Soul Scream Ring and Ghost Marchers. Now, Ghost Marchers versus Steam Boots for a Flint Beastwood, yay or nay?
Yes, I go that pretty much every game. The only time I don't know, I'm different, but the only time I would go Power Treads is if you're dying a lot early and you just don't, there's a lot of heavy burst ganks, and you just want that extra strength and your health boost. But Phase Boots or Ghost Marchers are really strong.
Well, Zapco is going to be paying for that, doing some counter warding down at the bottom. We did have 3 nearby heroes, and that has led to his death. Flint Beastwood saying hello. Flint Beastwood has picked himself up a Blessed Orb and a Firebrand, so it does look like maybe he's just going to adhere to the normal, the normalcy of the standard agility carry.
Yeah, it looks like he's going Geos, but looks like some more action right here.
Yeah, we do have Andromeda trying to do some own counterwarding of his own, but that's just going to lead to the death of Thunderbringer as well as herself. Big things, this counterwarding. I mean, map control is paramount in these kind of games because you need to know what your enemy's up to, and getting rid of that sight is just a big step in accomplishing that factor. So, I mean, right now it does look like XTV wanted to keep their sight up, but unfortunately they lost 2 heroes to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Behemoth actually went Tablet of Command over a Portal Key, which I have no idea why he did that, but, maybe he has something that he wants to accomplish with that. But I would always recommend going Portal Key first.
Well, Portal Key with the Strider, still no Chalice in sight as well. Now, Chalice was a big item when it first came out, and that really enabled a lot of the strength low mana heroes to actually perform their functions a lot better. But we still don't see one here on him.
Yeah, he needs to get a Chalice, a bottle, a Ring of the Teacher, something, because early on he was doing a lot of roaming, but he would stun twice and have to run back to base because he has no mana. So if he had that earlier, he probably would be a lot more active and maybe have his Portal Key right now.
Well, we do have an Assassin's Shroud now sitting very pretty here on non-Vidius. So the Gladiator is kind of going the standard build for him as well, which we did detail earlier. Helm of the Black Legion to the to the Cloak of Assassination, well, the Assassin's Shroud. And then we should be seeing some level 4 Rift Shards coming up in the non-too-distant future.
Yeah, Gladiator has pretty good farm for 27 minutes. If he can get his Rift Shards 4 and possibly a Behemoth's Heart, I think he can outcarry this.
Well, he does have the most creep kills right now, but in the mid, we do have Tempest going down, very focused, even a silence coming out from the Bubbles, but Behemoth did pay for it as well. Bubbles now miniaturized, he goes down to look like a chalice from the Witch Slayers, so the Pimp Slayer himself. We do have Flint Beastwood, he is going to get caught. He does have a Geometer's Bane, however, and it's not going to save him whatsoever. A very well-placed Chariot. It means that this fight becomes a 3-for-2 exchange, and now down 3, only a Myrmidon to defend the mid. Gladiator is likely going to be taking this tower right here.
Yeah, and the reason why XTV had the advantage there and they ended up coming out on top is because Corrupted Disciple was just kind of farming top. He didn't even bother to help.
Well, he does have a Homecoming Stone coming to the mid, but again, just too little too late as that tower goes down. Bart, however, did deny the towers, so he did not give that up willingly. With those disables on top of non-Vidius there, he was able to deny the towers, so very smart play from Bart there.
Yep, he has to disable the Gladiator, or else his damage is too much to deny it, so it's a good job.
So right now the score is 27-22. We're 28, almost 29 minutes into this game. And right now it's just astounding amount of kills. 49 kills in 29 minutes. We are well above the 2 per mark. Well, okay, we're actually under the 2 per marks. Yeah, instant math fail. Oh well. And right now, I mean, creep kills, we do have 154 creep kills on non-Vidius, so he has been farming very well. 355 gold a minute. Now that is very closely followed here by Flint Beastwood, who, as we did say, has that Geometer's Bane already. And, well, 29-minute Geometer's Bane, not exactly a world record, but it does amplify his output if he can get it off into a good location. It's all about positioning. But if you can get off in a decent location, that's going to be 66% extra damage he'll be dealing with. Well, I'm not actually too sure. Does the headshots propagate to the illusions?
Yep, it does.
So that's even going to be more than 66%, depending on how many lucky headshots he can get off.
Yeah, that's why you can pretty much do it with any build you go, because it's so strong.
So future items we might see here from Flint Beastwood could be Frostburn for the extra slow and the movement speed, although that will not stack with the Geometers. So likely, if we are going to see a slow, it's going to be that Frostwolf, or we just might go straight damage with a Savage Mace. What do you think?
I'm guessing probably Frostwolf. He seems like he's probably going to Cookie Cutter, but it's probably the best item here because, you know, XTV has a lot of burst and he needs to be able to have survivability, and it gives you some extra life and some slow, so it'll help him out a little bit. But I wanted to know one thing. I think the reason why you see Gladiator a lot more farmed than anyone else is those triple stacks in the jungle are really helping him. So for those support heroes that are kind of wondering what they could do to make the team and the carry better, is those triple stacks, the ancient or the neutrals, do a lot for your carry.
Speaking of the support heroes, we are watching Tempest here. He attacks one creep camp, uses his portal key to get to the other, and bam, 2 creep camps stacked. And let's just take a quick look at what Gladiator does here. He is going to come up here, the whip going out 228 damage, and that's true. Like, that's not reduced at all. Really seems to clear these guys' health pool very quickly. I'm a little surprised he doesn't use Pitfall for any of this, but at this rate, I don't think he actually needs to.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he doesn't have a Chalice. I thought most people do go Chalice on Gladiator, because he is a strength and he's kind of low mana pool, but, you know, he's been doing pretty well so far, so...
Flint Beastwood. We did have Gladiator actually teleport up top. All 5 heroes in attendance for the Flint Beastwood funeral, as he is now kind of face down in the dirt, as he made 5 heroes against a Flint Beastwood. There's no escape mechanisms on a Flint Beastwood, so once you have him in your sights, it's actually pretty easy to combo him down, which is why I was really surprised he went mid, because typically with those mid ganks, especially with all the disables in this game, should have actually put him into the ground a lot more often. But, I mean, you can't nerf skill, and positioning was very top-notch. Now, while we do have XTV up top, they are going to be pushing this tower. Behemoth has himself that homecoming stone, but he doesn't seem to be very interested in using it right now. He knows that they're not coming for him, so he could easily push this tower. But right now, we do have just big damage going down on this top tower. It looks like no defense is going to be mounted here from GameReplays.
Yeah, I expect to see a team fight or a Congor or something pretty soon. It's getting to that late game stage, and some of the carries on Hellborn don't really have as many items as that Gladiator. So I think that Legion's gonna have to take advantage of their advantage right now and push a tower or do a Congor before they get farmed up, because they have much more late game on Hellborn.
Speaking of late game, Gladiator with the level 2 Rift Shards off the bat, not even the level 1, just go straight level 2 Rift Shards. We're going to start seeing now double his crits, so into the 400 to 500 range, as he is going to start building up that base damage. He's at a 200 auto attack already, and that kind of hits like a truck at this point.
Yeah, it hurts. I've been on the opposite end of a 1,000 crit from a Rift Shard 4 Gladiator, and it hurts pretty hard.
Let's just take a quick look at other items, as we are 33 minutes into this game. The kills have kind of ramped down. Everyone's now kind of playing very defensive. I mean, GameReplays right now, they are in the red. 2,700 experience, 2,500 now, 4,000 gold is the differential there. They have to play a little bit more defensive if they want to come out the victor here. But for other kind of items, I do see a Mighty Blade on a Tempest, so he's likely going to be going for that Shrunken Head. We do have a Spell Shards level 1 on the Thunderbringer, which is an excellent choice for him, but it doesn't really give any survivability. What do you think of the trade-off on that?
I tend to usually go Staff the Master, then Spell Shards, but I mean, Spell Shards is good because it buffs your other skills, not just your ultimate, so it's kind of personal preference.
But the Staff of the Master will give you a lot of extra hit points and mana to play around with. Speaking of hit points and mana, out goes the Chariot. It's only going to hit the Beastwood, but it will interrupt his money shot. Look at the Tempest ult. Very well placed as they pick off both Behemoth and the Myrmidon. Bubbles does look to be going down, but he uses that power supply to get out of that. And now Gladiator running for his life. We do have Tempest in the green, or sorry, in the red. We do have Andromeda joining him, and I don't think that swap, as good as it was, is going to actually be saving that Andromeda, and even picking off that Gladiator hat trick for Ice It Down to P, who is that corrupted disciple. So big fight right there for GameReplays.
Yep, that was it was kind of both initiated at the same time. The Bubbles went in at the same time that Gladiator has Pitfall, and it started to look good for Legion, and then they turned it around. That they have so much range on Hellborn that Flint Beast were just sitting back and just autoing everyone.
Which all comes down to that positioning that we were talking about a little bit earlier, with his Geometer's Bane just sitting in the back and plowing through the hit point bars. I mean, that is the worst kind of situation you want to be facing. So a big focus going down there on the Gladiator, forced him into the retreat and actually landed the kill on him, as well as 3 of his allies. Now, the only survivor there was the Witch Slayer. Witch Slayer does have himself a portal key, it seems. So he's actually a very mobile Witch Slayer right now. I'm a little surprised he didn't go for like a cheaper item like Tablet of Command, but he hasn't really been doing that much warding, I don't think, either.
Yeah, I think Andromeda has been the hero that's been warding everything, and a pretty good job. But I wanted to point something out here. So Thunderbringer usually tends to have the most hero damage in the game, regardless of the game. Look at the hero damage on Flint Beastwood. It's 16,000 compared to his team, which is not even above 7,000. So if you wanna talk about carry, that's pretty much carry right there. It's over double your hero damage than anyone else on your team, and even a Thunderbringer.
What is the value there for Thunderbringer? I actually don't have that column turned on.
Here, Thunderbringer has 14,000, and Flint Beastwood is at 16,000. So
pretty close then.
Yeah, considering it, Thunderbringer has a global ultimate. It's it's pretty easy to get the most hero damage, but
it's pretty staggering. Yeah. Oh, good times. So now just passing the 37-minute mark. That was kind of the roll call for items there on the Legion. So other big items here for Hellborn. Nothing really new on the Flint Beastwood. Behemoth going for some magic armor. So a little bit of a survivability option for him. We do have a Geometers now as well on the Corrupted Disciple. So same kind of idea, going to be increasing his damage. It adds a little bit to survivability if you can, trick people into thinking which illusions are yours. But it's also very big for his movement speed because that's going to stack with, not Overload, but Static Discharge. Passive bonus of 12% movement speed. He's actually probably the fastest hero in this game right now, barring, of course, the Strider charges.
Yeah, that brings up something I wanted to point out. That buff to what is it, Boots of Travel, or what is it called in HoN?
Post haste.
Post haste. I would like to see more heroes pick that up. That buff is pretty good. It's
Can you just explain it a little?
So basically, it buffs the overall movement speed than initially you get when you get post haste, and then also when you teleport to a location, you actually get granted an additional boost for, I think it's like 10 seconds or something, I'm not sure yet, but I think a hero like Thunderbringer would benefit a lot from that because he has the long range nukes, and when you're setting up a gank or a counter gank, he can always help you out. It's that burst.
Well, Bubbles actually going to get no help here as he gets bursted down from the XTV crew as they find him in that jungle. He did kind of misorder his skills, but Bubbles, I'm a little surprised we don't see any portal key on the Bubbles right now, and that's usually a big pickup for most Bubble players because you can combo that with your take cover very easily.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible to kill a Bubbles that has the portal key and a null stone. So I would expect that would be his best item or his next item to pick up. But it's so annoying to play against a Bubbles that knows how to do that. It's really, really hard to kill him.
Another big item I see here, Shrunken Head actually now activated on the Tempest, as that should now negate a lot of those disables when he wants to throw down that ultimate. So Portal Key in with the Shrunken Head, throw down the Tempest with the Elemental Void, as it's actually officially called. But that does not negate physical stuns. And is Fisher a physical stun or is that a magical stun?
It's a magical.
But Flint Beastwood's headshot, that's physical.
Yes, so that would work.
Actually, what else is going to work? Money Shot! 2 Insane Rabbi as he goes down. So, insane range out of this Flint Beastwood. Now he's up to 14 and 5. Clearly leagues ahead of everyone else in the kill department.
And now he finished Savage Maze, so that's an extra mini stun. So that'll stop Tempest as well. Basically, Tempest, as long as he gets Flint Beastwood, he's going to be able to get his full ultimate off. But it's really hard because he has such long range. So that's going to be something he's going to struggle with.
It will indeed. Now, we do have a Gladiator illusion out by this Congor. I don't think Team GameReplays actually cares because we are still down that Andromeda right now. So XTV, they are moving their way over, but I'm not too sure they're actually going to be able to do anything about this Congor kill that it does seem that we want here for the Hellborn. Out goes the Eviscerous ultimate. We do have Tempest jumping in. He does catch the Flint Beastwood in the ultimate. He goes down very quickly. So Congor down to half. We see the Pitfall as well, but the Behemoth ultimate doing a massive amount of work there, and Gladiator is the only surviving hero right now with that invis. Not going to matter at all to a Corrupted Disciple, as that's going to be a double tap there for Ice It Down to Pete, and now 4 dead heroes for not for Game Replays, 4 kills for Game Replays, 4 dead heroes for Cybernetics, and now they're just probably going to clean up Congor. Now, they won't be able to give it to Flint, though, so who's going to pick it up?
I would guess Corrupted Disciple. But that last fight, oh man, if that Gladiator had hit his ultimate, that fight would have been completely different, because he would have killed Myrmidon and probably Corrupted Disciple with a lucky crit.
But that comes down to the whole random number generator aspect of, depending on those crits.
Yep. And he hasn't really been using his showdown to his advantage, although that was a pretty long-range ultimate, but he may have been able to at least kill one person if he used showdown.
Now, a big important thing to consider there is that Eviscerus on Thunderbringer, he used his ultimate not at the end of the fight, but he used it at the beginning of the fight. So that was kind of the initiation right there, and that was the cue to game replays that we have some big damage incoming. Unfortunately for XTV, they defended it very well.
Yeah, now the only thing about what I don't like about initiating or kind of scouting with Thunderbringer ult is a big part of what Thunderbringer does is his lightning rod, and it deals 11% of each enemy's hero current health. So if you use your ultimate and you're around heroes, it's going to take an additional 11% off their health. So that probably would have been a lot more damage if he was able to use it in a team fight, but they kind of needed it to scout Congor. But even though they had that Gladiator illusion, they just wanted to make sure they were there.
Yeah, the damage lost from the lightning rod is regrettable, but at the same time, I mean, it confirmed to CybernetixTV that yes, Congor is going down. They didn't back out of that. They are bunched up. It also gave vision for Tempest to jump in there for that ultimate, which is eventually what led them to kill HoN Sour. So, yeah, it was a trade-off. They did lose the damage, but they were able to gain a kill out of it. Despite all that, just massive damage going down on HoN Sour as he's got comboed down by 3 heroes right there. We do have Behemoth picking up a kill on Andromeda, so Insane Rabbi getting caught by 2 heroes there. We do have I Sit Down to Pee coming to check out the scene, but I think he's going to make a rapid exit as we do have still all 4 heroes of the Legion up, and the only one dead is the Andromeda as opposed to the Flint Beastwoods, so I don't think the game replays actually wants to force a fight right now.
Well, they still have Corrupted, and he is pretty farmed with that token of life, so they might want to fight here.
Well, we do have some blows going back and forth, but pretty sure that they are going to back off. They are going to wait those 30 seconds for the Flint to come back up because, I mean, as you said, Flint right now, he had that massive amount of hero damage to his name, whereas really nobody else on their team did. So I mean, he's a big factor in these team fights. And right now we do have the miniaturization going on. I Sit Down to Pee. Bubbles coming in with the ultimate as well as his Shell Surf. And right now just not enough damage. The Chariot going out unfortunately misses, but the ultimate coming out from the Behemoth actually not really doing that much either. The Corrupted Disciple is back in town with that ultimate of his. Down goes the Tempest, but I do think they're going to get this Bubbles, but not going to be enough. Eviscerus going down, and now Insane Rabbi, he's back into the scene. Not going to be enough to take out that Bubbles, unfortunately for them. And the only surviving hero is going to be Non-Vidius, and I'm not too sure he wants to go head to head right now.
Yeah. You know, that is the downside to Gladiator, and that's why you see some teams not pick him up, is because that Chariot is really hard to hit, because in a team fight, so many heroes are running around that he's only hit like probably 1 or 2 total in the game. So, and that's really kind of hurting his team.
Now, Corrupted Disciple, he got that Shaman's Headdress really early into this game, and I can only imagine how much damage it's negated for him. For example, we just had that Pitfall go off on him, and it barely looked like it did 200 damage. So, I mean, he's a very, very hard guy to kill right now, especially if he throws on, Corrupted Conduit onto his, a big name damage output from CybernetixTV.
Yeah, in theory, the Hellborn team is basically a direct counter to Legion team with the right item pickups, but you know, they've both been doing a good job of trying to keep their teams in the game. Basically, on Legion, for them to win, they need to have a Gladiator hit his ultimate in a good team fight, and possibly pick off a couple heroes with the blink daggers that they have on Witch Slayer.
Well, speaking of a good team fight, look at this. Flint Beastwood being found into the forest, but there goes the portal key on Behemoth. He does not have an ultimate up for another 20 seconds, so it's not going to be used at all for this fight. Tries to use that tablet command to get out. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. Teddy goes down to the money shot. This is just such a long-range money shot. It's almost unfair, but Myrmidon going down as well. We do have a Hellborn vote to concede. Not too sure why, but...
What?
I don't know, maybe it was meant to pause instead. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure that will be failed at this point because it's 37-37 for kills. We're 47 minutes into this game, but Hellborn have such an advantage in terms of experience and gold. I can't imagine that they'd forfeit at this point.
Yeah, he's probably just raged because he died. I've done that. Actually, yesterday I did a rage. I need to pause, and I hit concede, and we conceded. It was awesome.
We actually had that happen in a tournament not too long ago where the winning team meant to pause. They just auto-passed the vote, and it's like, you lose because you conceded.
Yeah, so, I remember.
Ugh.
That's why they changed it. That's why you have the additional screen for concede now, because of that.
Yeah,
So
no more accidental concedes.
Yeah, you guys helped contribute to the accidental concede. You should be proud.
Yep, always a pleasure to help out development costs and new ways to improve UI. Good fun stuff. So we also now have a Savage Mace sitting here on Corrupted Disciple. That brings his auto attack up to the 250 range. And you know, with the corrupted conduit being thrown onto, let's say, Gladiator, that's actually going to rocket his damage output here. Now, when you do a corrupted conduit and then you throw down your Geometer's Bane, I'm pretty sure that propagates. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Actually, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna try.
All right, but I don't think we're gonna see it here. Corrupted Disciple. He does get stunned. Throws out the red rings of death. But looks like he's going to survive. Going to come back here into the Gladiator. Out comes the Chariot. This is going to miss, but look at that crit. 327. A true damage going down. Not even a crit, just the damage. But we do have Flint Beastwood now coming to clean up as he takes 2 quick kills right there. Double tap for both Hot and Sour and Kufa. So that's the first genocide of the game. Hat trick coming out for Hot and Sour. So the 2 C1H teammates here just destroying the Cybernetics team in that fight. What happened there, sir?
Oh my gosh. I thought for sure like Legion was going to get a genocide. They had started off, it was like 5-on-2, and then they just kind of left Flint Beastwood alone and were chasing bubbles, and he just sat back and destroyed them. It could have ended either way. It's just they kind of left him alone. Look at him. He's still at 1/3 health. Imagine what he was, you know, at the beginning of that team fight.
Well, I did notice he used a few tricks to kind of stay alive there, including his Geometer's Bane. Now, this is probably a big factor here. We did have a Coldra Sheepstick on Bubbles, and that was probably a very big thing here. Look at this Invisible Gladiator. They know he's there, but oh, the Null Stone actually negating... what did that negate? Probably the showdown, since it didn't go off. The crit whip coming out, but Coldra's is going to be probably stopping Teddy in his tracks. I can't imagine he's going to grab Bubbles here, but the trap actually... Oh, no, he takes cover and 2 support come in. He's now trapped between that and the Fisher. Flint is here as well, but the Invis actually going off just in time. It looks like he'll be...
Crit him! Crit him! No!
I think he's actually just going to run away. Oh, he's just going to run away. What else is going on? We do still have big shots going down. No, Behemoth taking down Non-Vidius.
Oh my god. You got to man up there and crit.
You can't crit on command. But, oh, Hot and Sour taking down the Thunderbringer as well. Now, Teddy looks like, alright, he'll be okay. At least, yeah, he'll be okay due to that. No, the Behemoth Fisher catches him just as he gets out of range. Oh, man. 3 more dead heroes here for CybernetixTV. 40-45 is the score. GameReplays commanding lead at this point. 23,000 experience, 17, basically 18,000 gold. And wow, just wow.
I'm a little disappointed with that Gladiator. You just got to man up sometimes. Your team's down. You need a crit. You need to just go ahead and do it.
Oh, wow, that was amazing timing coming out of Hot and Sour. The Comet coming for his face uses Geometer's Bane to pop the projectile and then just turns right around and solos down Insane Rabbi. And just the damage coming out with both the Geometer's Banes popped. We got 6 heroes between Corrupted Disciple and the Flint Beast who are just doing work. And wow, clears that entire cluster right there. So the base has been cracked. We only have the one defender, the non-Vidius, and even his 600 crits, I still don't think are going to be enough to win him back this game.
Yep. Looks like it's pretty much over. Man, if he had just hit those ultimates, he probably could have been a different game.
Most likely, yeah. A few extra ultimates at some key clutch moments would have definitely done them a world of good. Flint Beastwood looks. Does Flint Beastwood have it? He does have a symbol of rage. That's how he's been surviving. I just noticed he popped, threw down the symbol of rage, and all of a sudden at full health. I mean, at 300 damage, it just destroys people, and I don't think he's ever gonna die again.
Yeah, I mean, they can still disable him down because he has no shrunken head, but it's pretty much over now.
And MVP here, Mimrodon with boots and a ward. That's his entire item set.
That's beat his status.
Beat is, of course, from SK Gaming as well. And yeah, right now, boots and wards. But to be fair, Mimrodon has been doing a lot of warding, a lot of counter warding, very important role for his team. And he just really has not had the time or the money to kind of grab anything else. So right now, let's see, Bart is 6 and 10. So, I mean, 10 deaths is quite a bit to take you down. 170 gold a minute. Not actually even the worst in the game. Look at Eviscerus on Thunderbringer, 150 gold a minute.
Wow.
Even now, Rabbi dropping to 145, 136. Okay, there's no gold really on the Legion side right now.
Yeah.
None at all.
They pretty much got dominated late game as expected.
Alright, so that is going to be game number 1 here of the show match between both GameReplays.org and CybernetixTV. There is going to be a game number 2 as it is a best of 3 series. But, wow, I mean, this was an action-packed game. I really enjoyed this game with you, Cardinal.
Yeah, that was awesome. I hope to see a lot more like that.
Alright, so we will be going to game number 2, so stay tuned here, CybernetixTV and GameReplays.org. I am the Four Court Jester. With me, of course, SK Gaming Pro Cardinal, and we will see you guys in the next game.